Hey there, my futuristic crew. Silver the Hedgehog here.
Hey everyone, Blaze the Cat here.
And welcome to, something I guess a bit different, and a bit interesting. It's fanfic reading.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so, obviously Blaze and I are a couple, so it's not as awkward. But, we're still shy in our own ways. And, well, we decided for a video, for content, we'll read, fanfics that, people have made of us. Yeah. How are you feeling about this, Blaze?
I feel that this is gonna be very interesting.
Yeah, but at least the viewers are supportive.
I guess.
It's it's not like we're reading something completely different. Like, I mean, the thing is, you and I are, boyfriend and girlfriend, or, and, it's not awkward. If we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend, then maybe it would be a bit awkward.
Yeah, it definitely would be awkward.
Yeah, so we've got two fanfictions today, both pretty short from what Blaze said. We did have a third one picked out, but that one's a bit longer, and who knows, maybe if this video does well, then maybe we'll do some more fanfics. What's a like goal we should have for this video, Blaze?
How about 700?
Alright, 700 likes, and then we'll do more fanfic reading, and who knows, maybe I'll, maybe I'll get, Sonic and Shadow to join, and, I'll make them read a Sonato fanfiction.
Oh boy, good luck with that.
Yeah, I don't know. It will take a lot convincing. All right. Anyways, so we're going to start with a.
Just not with some money.
Maybe. I don't know. All right. Anyways, the first thing we're going to start off with is Burning, which I have no idea what this is about. It's completely blind for Blaze and I, so we'll see what happens. So it says in the summary, you and I have a heart-to-heart, huh? All right.
Aww.
Well, I guess without further ado, let's, go ahead and get started.
Alright, it looks like I am up first when it comes to talking. Silver! Silver, wake up! Silver, wake up!
The white hedgehog stirred. His eyes widened, and his body immediately went into defense mode. That sounds like something I would do. His vision blurred, soon focusing on the blotch. This fanfic reading is really going to test our English, isn't it? The blotch of lavender looming in front of him. Blaze? Silver rose to his back, supporting his weight with his elbows.
The cat sighed, sitting down in front of her partner. You were having another nightmare, she explained. You were yelling in your sleep.
Oh, he replied dejectedly.
It was Iblis again, she stated, not as a question, but as a fact. After being around him for so long, it wasn't hard for Blaze to get a read on Silver. Wasn't it?
Silver wrapped his arms around his legs, letting his chin rest on his knees. He hated being seen weak around her. True. It made him feel less like her partner and more of a liability. They were both able to fend for themselves. That much was certain. But survival was a different story. So it looks like this has taken place during Iblis.
I don't think it's during, I think it's after.
Maybe. Yeah, Silver answered, momentarily meeting her eyes. It feels pointless. We've been fighting Iblis ourselves for chaos knows how long. How many times can we keep going until we can't anymore?
Blaze, in many ways, has always been a mystery. While Silver considered her his closest friend, as she would him, she still kept herself closed off, her emotions unreadable and her thoughts a closed book. She turned her head, looking out the window of the destroyed building, revealing the burning world of which the two resided.
So it is in the time of Iblis.
Yep, looks like you were right.
Score 1 for Silver. It's okay, continue.
I don't know, she answered plainly. Her amber eyes looked just as lost as his were, yet they still burned with an unyielding fire, with confidence. But I do know that nothing is unstoppable. Blaze held out her hand, summoning a small spark of flame to dance around her palm. We were given these powers for a reason. Our abilities are the only reason why Iblis hasn't killed us yet. That must mean something. Until then, I'm not letting this world be my tomb. Not yet.
I'm not as strong as you, Blaze.
Don't say that.
It's true. Silver felt his eyes falling on him, but he didn't bother to meet them. I'm not as fast as you. I can't fight back against Iblis's monsters with my bare hands. My powers burn out after a short time, while you can just keep going. I'm not like you, Blaze.
The cat didn't respond immediately, allowing painful silence to cut between them for a moment. Silver's eyes continued to avoid her. He heard the sound of shifting feet and felt heat akin to a kindling flame approach him. Blaze's natural fire granted her a warming aura. While it was less than necessary in their world, Silver still felt uneasy without it. You're so naive. True, you're not like me. Far from it, actually.
Silver wasn't surprised to hear those words coming from her. He always felt as though he was holding her back, as if her demise would be because of him. But before he could properly react, she continued.
You're you. You're Silver the Hedgehog. For what the ability to fight with just your mind. We may be different, but that doesn't make either of us weak. To be perfectly honest, I'm just as scared as you are. Silver gazed at her in disbelief. The idea that there was anything that someone as battle-hardened as Blaze would be afraid of was lost to him. I'm scared that we may just be fighting an endless cycle with no way out. Scared that we both die here, fighting a losing battle. Scared that... She hesitated. Scared of losing my only friend. Her hand found its way to his, squeezing it tight as if the world would end once she let go.
But, Blaze, Silver tried to form words, but his brain wasn't letting him. He focused on Blaze's face. Most importantly, her eyes. I feel like this is coming too close to home. It knows everything about me. This is all that I did, in the past. Still.
It's okay.
Still, they burned with the same fire, yet it seemed brighter. As Blaze stared directly at Silver, her fiery aura increased, but still, it didn't burn him in any way. Even when she was right beside him, holding his hands without any intention of letting go, Silver remained calm, peaceful even. So then, Silver continued, how do you do it? How do you seem so... focused?
Blaze gave a light chuckle, scratching the back of her head and staring at her feet. Well, I look at you. The white hedgehog's eyes widened, a blush seeping into his cheeks. Blaze pretended not to notice. I look at you and remember that I'm not alone, and well, it gives me hope. Hope that we can figure this all out.
Silver silently processed this. He was glad to hear that Blaze considered him her friend. Ecstatic even! He'd been spending so much time doubting his worth, doubting himself, that it was starting to take its toll on him. Blaze, thank you. I really needed to hear that.
I really needed to say it too. She smiled brightly, giving him much-needed peaceful vibes. Now, we should get some sleep for now. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow?
Her hands still firmly entwined with his, the two drifted off into slumber, and for the first time in many long years, they both seemed to be in total serenity. Well, that was quite the, I don't know, kind of bittersweet story, I guess. How do you...
A bit of a punch to the gut.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of this is, relates to us, I did doubt myself. Blaze had to, keep me in check, for lack of better words. Yeah, stuff like that. And I still admired her eyes, even in the past, but I just still never confessed to her until recently. Well, actually, it's almost been a year at this point.
Wait, has it?
Yeah, I think so. Happy anniversary, Blaze, a few days late as of record.
Happy late anniversary.
So, for those of you who don't know, our anniversary, I guess, for me asking her out is March 3rd.
Yeah.
It's March 9th, during the time recording this video. I'm sorry.
We both suck.
A date! I'll take you on a date later. We'll plan. We'll go and, we'll get something to eat together.
We'll just pretend it's March 3rd.
This is our anniversary. We're reading... Let's just move on. Anyways, this next chapter, why don't you introduce it, Blaze?
Alright, First Rain by Flash Driver. The summary reads, Silver has started his stay in the Soul Dimension, and all is well, but late one night, Blaze has a realization that bursts an opportunity. Being from a destroyed world overrun by flames, Silver has yet to experience the beauty of this world.
So it's kind of like So this is now after Iblis, and it's me experiencing the world not on fire. Let's go ahead and start this off. Blaze, it's from your point of view starting off, it seems, so go for it when you're ready.
Okay, here we go. Blaze awoke early to the sound of drumming radiating throughout her hot room. The pitter-patter of rain as it bounced off the slates and blew against the window pane. Initially, she remained in bed, enjoying the peaceful sound and headed toward the remaining hours of sleep she was due when a realization struck her. She pulled back the covers, quickly garbed herself, and set out from her room. She cursed every passing second as she wound her way through the palace and out of its grounds. Her heels clacked on slippery cobbles. A great heat ran through her body, icy raindrops fizzling to a steam as they made contact, leaving her dry. The sky was a dark gray. The sun couldn't be far from the horizon. Yet she pushed on without a second for thought. Pushing through the empty heart of the small island town, the rain grew torrential. The island systems were typically hit harder by weather patterns. She was forced to cloak her entire body in orange flames to stave off the cold and wet. As she reached the beach, she could just make out her destination, Marine's house, near the dock, but more importantly, she could see her target. Immediately she was racked with worry.
A gray hedgehog was stood in the rain, staring to the sky. His quills were melting into one misshapen gray mess, and his long fur drooped. Were it not for the glowing teal symbols on his palms, he'd be unrecognizable.
Silver!
She shot towards him. He looked to her, forehead quills flopping down and blocking his vision. As she got close, it became clear he was smiling. But there was redness to his face and eyes. Without hesitation, she took his hand and began to spread her warmth across his body. Flames began to lick away at the cold and wet.
He was shivering, but through the cold, there was a light of wonder in his eyes. His voice came out as a stutter.
This is rain, right? I hadn't seen it. It was drumming on my roof and woke me up. Marine stayed asleep somehow. This is basically making me a lot more nervous than I actually am, and it's going under the impression that I don't know what rain looks like, probably because I lived in Crisis City. But
Well, if you remember the description, it said this is your first time out of Crisis City and just now settling down in the Soul Dimension.
yeah, true. I guess maybe I've heard of
So
rain.
this is your first time seeing rain.
Yeah, fair.
Recognizing the state of him, she went from holding his hand to wrapping him in a warm embrace. She led his hands to her shoulder and bound her arms around his back, pushing into the cold and wetness, slowly eating it away. She gently spoke. I know it's new to you, Silver, but you can't just stand out here. You'll get hypothermia. Use your psychokinesis, make a barrier, do something at least. I'll try to warm you up.
She felt him push into her warmth. A blue light cloaked them as it shone overhead. The rain stopped falling on them. The downpour made crackling taps as it skipped off of his psychic wall. He was gradually returning to his normal state, his quills slowly rising and fur fluffing back upright, starting from the center of his chest. She looked at him and found his eyes were back into the sky. Watching as the droplets bounced and rolled around his shield, there was a smile on his face, wide mouth, and stretching his face to its, I'm going to assume that says utmost limits.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to say.
Oopsie, typo. Alright. But the redness to his eyes remained. Tears were turning to steam as they rolled down his cheeks. It's nice. It's a little loud, but it's so nice. This is meant to happen. This is normal. I had heard about rain, but I didn't realize it would. I thought I knew how it was. He lowered his head and pulled a hand away from her shoulder, dragging the dry glove across his face. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm crying. It's not like I'm upset or anything. I just...
You're so naive. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Blaze gently stroked his back, shifting the heat across his body. You've been through a lot. You're at peace now. It's fine. Just let it out. His arm lowered, now both wrapped around her shoulders. It was all fine, until she felt a head press against hers. Then a different heat started to well up in her chest.
Thank you, Blaze. I'd be lost without you. You know? I wouldn't be seeing stuff like this if you hadn't brought me here. It's all really pretty. It was dry, but she wasn't ready to let go yet. And he certainly wasn't releasing. She lowered the warmth to a steady thrum, her hands resting on the puffed fur to the back of his neck. I'm so glad to be with you.
He was still crying, but at least he wasn't embarrassed by it anymore. Blaze felt a low thrumming begin to emanate from her throat, sounding over the rainfall as she ran her fingers through his scruff. I'm glad to have you too, Silver. It's very different, isn't it? There weren't any calming sounds like this in that city. Silence was the best we could hope for, but something would break it eventually. This will just end. Nothing bad will come of it.
The rain had slowed, and now beneath its rumbling, Blaze was close enough to hear his heartbeat. A low purr was still emanating from her. She felt his breathing slow to normal. He loosed a yawn, lifting his head from atop hers. You were really warm, Blaze. There was a peaceful noise in that city, though. Just one.
She looked up to him. His eyes were still red, but the crying had completely stopped. There was still a wide grin on his face, albeit much less crinkled, and his quills had returned to their regularly spiked formation.
That sound you're making. She felt that strange heat in her chest stretch up to her face. The purring continued, despite her growing embarrassment. You don't make it too often, but whenever you do, it's really nice. I could never figure out why you do it.
Blaze felt her redness grow even further. Her ears folded in on themselves. She stopped toying with his fur, but kept her arms wrapped around him. I don't do it around others, so I suppose I'm glad you found it comforting. The rain completely petered out now, tapping its last against Silver's shield. It's not something I really choose to do, it just kind of happens. The teal tint faded from their bodies as Silver's barrier vanished. For a moment they were in the dark, but then a new light set upon them. With the clouds parting, the pink-red sky was exposed, the clouds tearing further and further apart to reveal a gap of sunlight. It wasn't perfect, there was still a strong wind blowing, but it was a sight to behold, with color melding and reflecting off the ocean.
Oh, that's really pretty too. It's been a good morning, Silver rather bluntly put.
She turned back to him, looking to that wide-eyed smile once again. She found herself pulling closer again, just a little, and felt a smile grow on her own face. Yes. Good morning, Silver.
And that's it. That was, kind of like,
Oh, that was cute.
Yeah. No, why? Because it had me crying in it? I still get embarrassed about crying. In front of you, or others.
You don't need to be embarrassed.
I do, I can't help it. It's a natural thing to be embarrassed about, at least for me. But that's gonna do it for this, fanfic reading, guys. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe next time I can read some more with Blaze. There is a long fanfiction that Blaze found, and, maybe we'll read it if this video does well. So, let us know, and if you want to see more, then consider giving this video a like, and, make sure to comment down some, suggestions on who I should make read fanfics. Maybe I'll bring Sonic and Shadow, but it's gonna take a lot of convincing. Who knows? Maybe I'll bring some other guests. Maybe I'll bring Sally and Movie Sonic. That would be interesting.
Oh boy.
Anyways, make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel and you want to see more content like this, and click that notification bell to get notified when I upload. You have any closing thoughts you want to say, Blaze?
I found both of these fanfics to be really cute, and I definitely look forward to reading the other one if this video gets enough likes.
Yeah, so show support, guys. Click that like button. 1 second and 1 click out of your day. You're not losing much from it. And yeah, anyways, with that, see you later, my futuristic crew. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone.